Today in the studio is Randi Goodman, producer of the Toronto Women's Expo. Hello, I'm Shannon Skinner, and this is Extraordinary Women TV. Well, Randi Goodman, nice to have you here on the show.
Thank you. So glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
So Randi, now you're the producer of the Toronto Women's Expo, and you've had a really interesting career. Your journey has had a few different businesses. Well, let's talk about your first business.
My first business,
has something to do with beds.
Yes, and not just making them with sheets. Well, I was 22. I had a background and have a background, 4th level CMA. So I had knowledge in numbers and whatnot. My father had left a high-powered position to come and take over this family business after my grandfather passed away. And I got married and he said, come and take over this business. He had purchased another business. And so I did, but I'm fine with the administration part, I'm fine with the accounting, but how do you make a bed? You know, how can I order things, purchase, how can I do anything without knowing really what my product is? So I went in the back with my high heels and my little mini skirt and told the guys, teach me how to make a bed. And they used the big machines to sew the outside of the bed, and they're kind of looking at me like, yeah, right. No, really, teach me how to make. You want to use the machine? Yeah, I want to use the machine. So they taught me everything from ground zero to, you know, a finished product. And now I knew, hands-on, learning how to make a bed. And I loved it. It was the best business experience anyone could have. I was really lucky to have been able to experience that.
Now, what did you love about it?
I loved that I could dive in with my hands. I could meet people and get to know them and help them and learn, and I love learning. You know, I love really getting to know people, learning about new things, and that's always happening in business. You know, with the relationships that you're building and the people that you work with, and, you know, then you've got suppliers and clients, and, you know, because we were a walk-in as well. We didn't just have the contract with the City of Toronto delivering beds to welfare recipients. We had private customers who came in the door and saw our showroom. So there was a sales element too, the face-to-face sales element, which was great because it tested another part of you. And it was just an incredible experience. I was really lucky.
So somewhere along the line, you got married and you had 4 kids, and they were all, your children are all very close in age. Yes. They were all in diapers at around the same time, is that right?
Yes, we had 4 boys in 4.5 years. Yes, so there was a time.
Some of them not quite in diapers, all of them at once, but close.
The 4-year-old for a little bit of that time was wearing diapers at night. So we had the assembly line going at nighttime where one of us would sit down, legs open on the floor, next, change your diapers, put the pajamas on. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
How did you, now, and you had a business on the side while you were a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
When your children were really young, were you running your side business?
I took extra time if they were sleeping or at night. I was, you know, we put them to bed and I was able to spend some time on the computer. And I really wanted to stay in the business world, even though I was home with the kids. I didn't want to lose, first of all, you don't want to talk baby talk all day, right? And I wanted to keep myself in the loop because I didn't know how long I was going to be at home. And I wanted to keep the accounting going. I wanted to keep the business thinking going. I didn't want to be out of it for, say, 10 or 15 years.
Right.
And then have to relearn everything when you come out. And that ends up happening anyway when you go back into the workforce, like when you really go back into it. Because what I did wasn't a moneymaker. It was really more for me to keep my mindset there as opposed to only with the kids.
So for you at that time, was it, I mean, do you think work-life balance is possible.
Absolutely.
You know, this is something that women mothers really struggle with, career moms. So you think it's possible?
I do.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me in my marriage, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't work for somebody in their marriage. If you have a partner who, you know, whether you have to or you don't have to, but someone who is supportive of both of you in the workforce, whether it's part-time or full-time, it can work really well. I'm more of an extremist, so I'm going to do a lot of something or probably none. I'm going to go all out. And I probably spent more time on it than he liked, right? Which isn't always a good thing, but I think for some relationships it works fine, you know, depending on whether they can find that happy balance and make it work. But I think it's really important that you both have a feeling of self-worth and that you're both contributing, even though, yes, you're absolutely contributing if you're not out in the workforce and you're just taking care of the kids. That's a huge job. It is much easier to leave and go to the office than it is to be at home, especially with 4 little ones. It can be just as challenging with 1. And if you have a partner who is supportive and believes in you and believes in your mental health, then I think it would work really well. And I know families who, you know, find that balance.
Now, somewhere along the line, you had this idea for the Toronto Women's Expo. I mean, where did the idea come from?
The idea came from doing a lot of business-to-business trade shows, and a really good girlfriend of mine who has another show. We decided that we'd like to do something a little more women-focused. And what we found with the first event is that women are really supportive of each other. They really want to help each other. And we just found this natural desire to support each other. And even though we only marketed to our own communities, we had a really successful event. And from that foundation, we decided this is something worth building. Whereas with the B2Bs, it was a lot of mental income, but it didn't pay the bills. And if this is something you're going to focus on, you have to look at a holistic approach to why you're spending so much time doing something. Is it only to help others? Do you have another source of income that you can feed from? You know, you have to take all these things into account. So, not that it was a financial win, because it wasn't. It just did a little better than break even. But what we got out of it was incredible. And the relationships that we were building on top of the ones we already had were amazing. The people we're meeting and the speakers and the presentations and the demonstrations of what people had to offer, and encountering so many people who want to give to others as opposed to only thinking about themselves. So that was really a strong foundation for us to go forward.
Now, there are a lot of events out there for not just women, but you know, there are a number of consumer events, and it seems to be growing. What makes yours different or unique?
We're really focused on empowering people and giving them the tools and resources to help take their life to the next level. So whether it's their personal or their professional lives, we really want to make sure we're having an impact on them. So they can be a sponsor, an exhibitor, a speaker, demonstrator, an attendee. It doesn't matter how they're participating in the show. Everything that we do, we want to make sure there's value for them in this show, that they're going to connect with the people they want to connect with, that there's enough diverse products, services, and people available so that it doesn't matter why you're attending the show and what your need is, you're going to find somebody at the show who's going to help you with that need and help elevate your life, whether it's your mental, your physical, your emotional, or to do with your business. And, you know, when we look at it, you really can't improve your business if you don't improve yourself, right? So it's really a holistic approach to helping people. And of course, giving back to the community. We're supporting 6-7 charities at the event. And there's really a huge part of giving back and supporting people and giving them resources.
Now, Randi, we'll talk a bit more about the details of the show after the break, but this is my break, and it's my Good to Know Minute, and I want to know what your success tip is.
My success tip is building really strong relationships. Why? If you want to have the right people around you, be able to help the right people, have them help you, and get the right resources that you need to go forward in life and to help others, then it's really imperative that you build really strong relationships and be authentic. When you're authentic, people know you're authentic. When you're not, they see right through you. Might not be today, but eventually they see right through you. So building a really strong, sustainable, incredible relationship is probably key.
Well, that's good to know, and thank you for that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more about Toronto Women's Expo here with Randi Goodman. So stay where you are. Welcome back to the show. I'm Shannon Skinner, and I'm speaking with Randi Goodman, producer of the Toronto Women's Expo. Now, this event is coming up, so let's just talk about it. And of course, I'd like to say and to share that Extraordinary Women TV is a media partner, so we're very excited to be part of this event this year.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now, well, you're welcome, and thank you. Now, what are the dates? And you know, perhaps we can just share some of the details then for the audience.
Well, the event's happening at Downsview Park on December 1st and 2nd in Studio 3. It's a 32,000 square foot facility. We'll have over 150 exhibitors, and we have demonstrations and presentations from fabulous speakers like Shannon.
Yes, that's right, and I'll be there speaking. I'm really looking forward to this one.
We also are supporting a whole bunch of charities, so they'll be on hand as well, and you can bring a food item to donate. You can also bring a personal care item to donate to women's shelters. We have great partners like Shannon.
Extraordinary Women TV!
Yes. And we have the Argonauts on board thanks to a Celebration of Women Foundation, which is another charity that we support. We have National Post. We have 3 radio stations, 95.3, Final 95.3, the Jewel 88.5.
When people walk in the door, they can pre-register, they can pay at the door, correct?
Yes.
When they walk in the door, what can they actually expect? What are they going to see?
What are they going to see? They're going to walk in, they're going to see our charities, and they're going to see all sorts of incredible businesses showcasing products and services and ready to meet you and help you. You're also going to hear our DJ/MC who will be running the show. Of course, you have to register first. You will...
Registering is good.
Yeah.
You want to register.
And the bathroom's right there. In the back area, we have the stage, so that's where everybody will be presenting. And we'll have some food vendors in there in case you're hungry. It's all about meeting people and getting some great information. So there will be a bag at the door, but it might not have too much in it because we'd like you to meet with people and start a conversation and really learn about them to see whether you're interested in proceeding with a further relationship with them, and then you can put something in your bag.
So this is not really the kind of show where you might go and walk away with a ton of freebies as some of the shows are. Is that right? The focus is a bit different than
Yeah, the focus is on
Yeah.
really empowering people and giving them information and resources to help them. So it might be a brochure, it might be a business card, it might be other material. They may have some candy or something on their table to give away. They may have other items to give away, but we don't know what that's going to be. And we leave it to the exhibitors to give to somebody after they've had a conversation. We'll also have door prizes, so people will walk around with a passport that they have to get stamped, and then they can win certain prizes. So there's definitely a prize giveaway element there, and it encourages people to walk around the show and meet with various different types of exhibitors and people.
So Randi, what is your hope in your heart that this show will do?
I really want it to be a foundation for people to come together in one location and be able to find and meet with people who will have an impact on their life. I really want them to walk away feeling they received something of value that enhanced their life. So it's all about what they walk away with. And if they don't walk away feeling that, then we weren't successful in what we wanted to achieve. So it's really important to us that we have the right type of exhibitors, sponsors, and people who go up on stage to accomplish that goal. Like we're teaching a live CPR class. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? You know? And they'll actually be able to get a certificate. So it's just, some of it is a speaker on stage and giving information and very educational. And it could be something like a fashion show or the CPR where it's really hands-on and, you know, kind of fun to watch, and there's movement going on and that kind of thing. So
now going forward from here, I mean, this is the Toronto Women's Expo is in its third year. This is third year. Third show.
Yeah.
Now, for you, what is your vision going forward? What would you like to see? How would you like to see the show grow?
Well, we're already growing from a one-day show to a two-day show, and we've brought on some incredible partners to work with us. So really, we've come a long way from past shows, and what I see going forward is more of these unbelievable relationships growing, where we're partnering with fantastic organizations to go forward and help more people to maybe make it a larger show. But we'll take that on the path that we go on. And then once we've established that this is a credible, sustainable show, that we might take it to other locations.
Well, Randi, you know, I'm really grateful for you to be here today and talk about some of your background, your career, and also about the start of the Toronto Women's Expo, and certainly hope people will come out to it. I'm looking forward to it. December 1st and 2nd, 2 full days.
Yes.
2 full days of inspiration.
Yes.
Wow. Great speakers.
Exactly.
Looking forward to it. Well, thanks again for being here, and I will see you in December.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I've been speaking with Randi Goodman, producer of the Toronto Women's Expo. Again, you can find out more about the show at torontowomensexpo.com, December 1st and 2nd. Would love to have you come on out. Now, of course, if you are interested in more information, you can also visit my website at extraordinarywomentv.com. You'll find out more information about Randi Goodman there, more about the show, past guests, upcoming guests, and of course about me, and you can contact me through it as well. So that's extraordinarywomentv.com. Well, if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories inspire you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.